Hello and welcome to Blockchain Silver, the place where we analyze what in the world is going on in crypto. Today I'm going to talk about $5 plus ChainLink and how it might be closer than we think. Warning, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. It is best to do your own due diligence, form your own conclusions, and invest based on your opinion of the market. Cryptocurrency markets are highly speculative and may lose value. Be safe out there. So I started to look at ChainLink. I saw, a month or two ago that this had been added to Coinbase. I knew about it. I saw that it had some good runs, but up until yesterday, I hadn't really looked at it much. And I generally stick around the top 10. I will venture out every now and then, but I had a subscriber that was interested in knowing a little more about Link, and so I decided to take a look at it. And based on ChainLink, priced in BTC or in Bitcoin, there wasn't that much data, and so I looked at it priced in dollars. And immediately, right when I looked at it, the first thing that came to mind was EOS and Ethereum. And so I'm going to show you why. So this big one here is EOS. And this little one is ChainLink. And so what EOS did, it was released, it went up, came down to about 50 cents. Went to $18.16. Went to about 4 something. Then about $22. And then it came down. And with ChainLink, I see something similar. I see a lot of the same moves. The amounts are different because, of course, the amount of coins in circulation are different. And so, but I see a lot of similarities between the two. And Ethereum, EOS, is really just like Ethereum as well. Ethereum, when it came out, it went up, went sideways for a while, went to like $14, went down to about $7, was pretty much cut in half, then went back up to, I think it was $18 or $19. And even just looking at the two, they almost look, there was a little difference here. Ethereum came to Coinbase here, and so it went up and then came down. Whereas with EOS, there was more being released every day. There was 2 million. And so this came down a little deeper, but then it went higher, and then it wasn't introduced to Coinbase yet. It is now, but so there are some differences between the two. And so let's get into it. So basically, what I tried to look at, and there's a lot of similarities, I look at price moves. I look at like 33x moves and like 50% crashes and 75% crashes and 40x moves and stuff. That's how I look at all these coins. So the best thing to do with ChainLink, since there's not much data on it, is we have to compare it to a coin that is doing something similar. And I have pretty good pattern recognition. I've seen lots of patterns play out, and this is what it looks like to me. So, all right, so Link, its base support was 0.142. So that would be, if you zoom in, it was down in here somewhere, and we're going to look at all these prices here, but it was about 0.142. EOS was about 50 cents, which was down in here, and then Ethereum was about 42 cents. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring the base when there were no more sellers to the top. Same thing with EOS. The base, when all the sellers were gone, to the top. And so Link, we're going to do the same thing. Base, when all the sellers were gone, to the top. So for Link, it was a little over 14 cents. EOS 50 cents. Ethereum was 42 cents. And so to get a conversion, you just take the 50 cents of EOS, divide it by the 0.142, and that gives you a 3.521 factor. So if you took 3.521 and times it by this, you would come up with this. And so same thing with Ethereum. You take the 0.42 base, divide it by the 0.142 base of Link, and you get a 2.957 factor. And so it's real simple. So now we take the 444 top. So what I'm doing now is I'm comparing this top of Link, which I zoomed in on it, and it was either $4.40 or $4.44, but it was right around the $4.40 area. And I'm comparing it to this of EOS and this of EOS or Ethereum. And so what I'm doing, I'm measuring. We're going to measure right here on ChainLink. So we're going to measure EOS, we're going to measure Ethereum, and then we're going to compare them. And so the 444 that Link went to, if you times it by 3.521, which is EOS, then the question is it close to EOS first top? So it would be, that comes out to 1563. And so EOS was about 18. So it's pretty darn close. And then we look again. The 444, which is the first high for ChainLink, we times it by the Ethereum factor. And is it close to the Ethereum first top? These right here are the answers. And so this would be the check, 1313. And we go to Ethereum. And sure enough, it is. It's pretty darn close. So let's just say this is Ethereum right now. Ethereum. So let's just say this was ChainLink at 14 cents. It went to 444. And so Ethereum at the 49 cents or 42 cents, times it by the factor, it came up to about the same amount. So between all three of them, it's a really close move. Then from here, Ethereum lost half. EOS lost more than half because they were pumping 2 million out every day. They were doing a year-long, similar to Google, where they were issuing, kind of like issuing stock. They were issuing 2 million coins every day. So EOS dropped farther, but then from there, then it took off. And so this is our first check, and all of this stuff checked out good. Everything checked out. So now I always like to do a double and triple and see how many more things check. And so now let's look at the base to the first top. So it's simple. You just take the 444, divide it by the base. It's a 31.2x move. So in ChainLink from here to here, that's a 31x. So now let's look at what EOS and it'd be from here to here. EOS and Ethereum. So EOS went to 1816 from a 50 cent support. That was a 36x move. Ethereum went to 1432 from a 42 cent base. That was a 34x move. So EOS did better on the first run than Ethereum, but they're all pretty much in lockstep. And so what I did is I took the two together, I averaged them. So this was the average for this on the double check, and then this one here is the average of these two. This is the second run that we're going to look at. So now we're going to measure in EOS, we're going to measure from here down to here. In Ethereum, we're going to measure from here down to here. And with that, we have from the 50 cent support on EOS to the 21.46, we have almost a 43x move. And from Ethereum, from its base of 42 cents to $19.42, that was a 46x move. And so EOS here, it beat Ethereum, but then Ethereum beat EOS here. And so that's why I decided to add the two and average them. So this one here is an average. This one here is an average. ChainLink did about 88% of the first one. This one hasn't happened. It has with these, but this hasn't happened yet. But if you take the average and times it by the factor of 88%, so this here is 88% of these two averaged together. So you take these two, add them, average them together, times it by 0.88, and we come up with a 39.59x move for a second top on ChainLink. So you take the 0.142 base of ChainLink, times it by 39.59, and we come up with $5.62 for ChainLink. So that's this, if this all plays out. Now this is if. This doesn't mean any of this will happen. This is just quantitative analysis that I do. I do this in my spare time. But there were a lot of similarities, and actually I'm going to point out a few more here. I wanted to try to keep this around 10 minutes, but we're going to go a little over. So now with Ethereum and EOS, ChainLink. Okay, so EOS, we're on EOS right now. Today it's trading at 317. From January 13th to its bottom, that was March 18th. So about 2 months and 5 days. ChainLink, right here, 283. From its high of June 30th to September 15th, its low, we would be looking at about 2 months and 10 days. So pretty similar. Now Ethereum, it was, I believe Ethereum was longer, March 13th to April 26th. So that was about a month and a half. So no, I'm sorry, that was shorter. So Ethereum, a month and a half. EOS, 2 months and 5 days. ChainLink, 2 months and 10 days, would it be? No, two and a half months. 2 months and 15 days. So pretty similar. So now the last question really is, so we've got I think that it could be very well possible compared to EOS that with ChainLink, we might possibly be in something like this right here. And if we are, it would be the equivalent of, I did the math, and I think it was showing a pullback around $3 or a little over $3. What you would do is you would take EOS and you divide this by this. It gives you the X factor. Then you'd take ChainLink, you would times that by the X factor. And I think it came to $3, showing a pullback at like 260 to 265. And so, and I think that's happened already. So then the next thing would be, when is this going to happen? Well, this in EOS, this was April 29th. And this here was March 18th. So it was about a month and a half. So with ChainLink, now remember, this was a little longer. So let's say maybe a month and 3/4, maybe even 2 months, September 17th. So October 17th would be a month. The end of October would be a month and a half. And if it went a little over that, maybe first or second week in November. So I think ChainLink, it may, if this plays out compared to EOS and Ethereum, if it plays out and if we are on our way up, I see about 562. I see that happening end of October, beginning of November. And so currently I don't own any right now. I probably am going to buy some. Am I going to dump my whole portfolio into ChainLink? Probably not. 10 to 15, maybe 20%. Yeah, I think I see that happening. So, but who knows? Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just math. And so should you dump everything in? No, of course not. Just all we can do is watch it and see what happens. And that's about it. Go from there. So that was it for today. If you want to look any of these numbers over, just pause the video and check them out. Other than that, if you liked the video, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you for coming over to Blockchain Silver, and remember to stay safe out there.